Welcome to 15 minutes of Amoofy, real voices, real moments, and the stories that might just shift yours. Today, we sit with someone whose career reflects both the courage to lead and the humility to listen. Someone who has spent decades transforming teams, scaling organizations, and inspiring leaders to bring their most human selves to work. After a moment early in her career, when she saw her own leadership style reflected back to her on video, she made a lifelong commitment to lead with authenticity, empathy, and courage. And from that experience, she has guided hundreds of leaders, executives, and founders like myself through their own journeys of growth and transformation. With the wealth of experience from Fortune 15 boardrooms and the heart of entrepreneurial ecosystems, she brings wisdom, care, clarity, and deep purpose to Amify's mission. Welcome, Kay, a member of our advisory board and a leader whose humanity reminds us that every story has the power to connect and transform.
Thank you, Luis. I'm so amazed that you remember that story. Oh my goodness, that was like a year. I don't even know how long ago that I shared that story with you, but it is so true. There's nothing like seeing yourself reflected back to you in this amazing format that is video. It is undeniable, and for me, it early in my career and a life changing event. So thank you for remembering that. And bringing that forward. It's great. It's a pleasure to spend any time with you, and obviously to support the amazing company that you're building.
Thank you, Kay. It's very easy to remember memorable people and memorable stories. So yeah, I'll continue to carry that one with me for a long time. So, Kay, to get us started, one easy question: what what brings you joy these days?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of things that I feel very fortunate to say. I think there are a lot of things that bring me joy these days, from everything to, the amazing full moon last night and the incredible colors of our Colorado fall that we've enjoyed today, and really this whole season, to the community that we have built and continue to build in the Colorado entrepreneurial and larger business ecosystem. It's a unique place. We have new people that come into it all the time, which is really exciting because anytime you have that, it changes, right? And it shifts, and it's amazing. I'm fascinated and really enjoying all of the technological changes that are happening right now. I mean, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, you and I were at the Iterate on AI Summit in Boulder. I mean, just really immersive, really interesting. As I said to you then, I mean, I think the platform that you have built at a moment of you is, I would stack against anybody that we saw that day. It was really exciting and really forward thinking. But it's also just reaffirming, I think, for the work that's being done. And then I get great joy from my family, from my core family, from my extended family. We're so fortunate. One of the reasons we moved to Colorado, my husband was born and raised here, is we live in a 20-minute radius of 10 cousins and 6 aunts and uncles. And so we get just a lot of joy, a lot of stress, but a lot of joy, from that family and my extended family, kind of, that's international as well as in our country.
That's beautiful. Community, the importance of community. Okay, I'll move to the next question. What's one piece of life advice you wish everyone heard before age 25 or after 60?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And I think the answer is really the same, right? And I think that there is no one single destination. I think sometimes we get focused on, "Oh, if I just make it, right? Like I just need to make it. I just need to do this one thing and I'll make it." And the reality is that there is no make it. And that's really the beauty of kind of a whole life, right? There are a lot of moments, there are a lot of mountains. There are mountains that we will ascend, there are some that we will descend, there are some that we'll get to the base camp and say, no, I'm out for any number of reasons, right? But I think that even when you reach the summit, even when you get to the top of something, whether it's the corner office or a big exit, or a personal milestone, at a certain point, you just start again because you just have to keep going. And so I think that's really important. I think it's important to try to enjoy every moment and try to enjoy every step. Um, you know, even sometimes with the blisters or the high heels or the hardness, right? Like just to try to enjoy it and to frame it and to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Who can I help? What's going on in the community in this moment of massive change and transformation? How can we leverage it and make today better and really begin to reimagine tomorrow? I think that's the thing that in my early career I didn't quite grasp. Right? I thought I have to get to this next level and there is it doesn't matter because you just have to keep reinventing and keep going.
There's there's a lot of I think people that would follow that advice and would say just fall in love with the process and not with the outcome. And it's very hard, right? Because I think we have been trained to check the box, not to enjoy the writing of checking the box. I love that advice. Okay, I love that advice, and I think I'm really hopeful that even my kids would embrace that as they are growing up, and see life as a journey that it is, rather than the destination. Going back to making it, okay, tell me about a time where you think you w- wouldn't make it, or you think that you didn't were going to make it, and then but then you did. Um, share that story with us.
Yeah. I this is I struggle with this even today, right? Like there are some days that I'm like, oh, today I might not make it. I'm not sure about that today. Um, because leadership as fun and energizing and exhausting as it could be, right? Like it's you're constantly you're like running on an obstacles course and the obstacles are on fire and the finish line keeps moving, right? Like it's so dynamic, it's so ever changing. But there is one story. I was leading this massive M&A integration. We had about 650,000 customers that were coming into the company. We had hundreds of employees. We had a big geography. We had a full wireless network conversion that had to happen. And in the middle of all that, the region was in partnership with the NFL and was about to host the Super Bowl. So it was it was like no pressure, like no big thing. Anyway, in the middle of all of this kind of chaos, it came to my attention that some of my headquarters counterparts were quietly trying to take some of the wireless spectrum that had come into my region from this M&A transaction, and they were quietly trying to move it to another geography that had higher penetration than we had. And I was surprised by that. And thankfully, our CEO at the time said to this group, well, I'm not going to allow that unless Kay agrees. And so they came to me and I said, no, I cannot take my spectrum. And it was really risky. Like it was really risky. I remember in the moment, right? Like I'm going to get fired. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my reputation. All these relationships that I've built are now at risk. But I had no, in my mind, it was the only choice. And the answer was no. And thankfully, what came back to me later was that the CEO completely supported me, and his comments back to this team were good for Kay. So it was kind of one of these rare unicorn moments in a Fortune 15, right? But I think what was so important about that moment for me was, or that learning for me was that when you know who you're serving, when you know what you're doing and why, then the hard decisions actually are clear. And the only choice really is to do what you know is the right thing to do for the people that you serve. And that's really how I felt.
That's a beautiful story. I didn't know that one. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, okay. If if someone could learn one lesson, it's very hard because I know people could learn like 1,000 lessons from your journey, but let's just pick one. One lesson from your journey so far. What would it be and why?
Yeah. So if there was one lesson for me, it would be to take the risk and say yes. My husband and I got married long past when all of our friends got married. And when we got married, we had a family motto, just the two of us, and it was all go and no slow. And it was not about living life in constant motion. Like that's not what it was about. It was really about this concept of if there was an opportunity or if we created an opportunity, regardless of whether we understood the outcome or the outcome was risky, that we would try it. We would lean in and we would say yes. And so the first 8 years of our marriage, just the two of us, we moved 3 times for 3 promotions in 3 very different geographies. In the second move, my husband went back to graduate school and he got his master's degree in architecture focused on extreme environments, which was a great fit for him because he's an aviator. But it started to open all these doors for us, right? And like the first one was we got a dog. We had never had a dog because we were never home. And so we got a dog. And so that was like so cool to us because he was actually home and could actually help like take care of the dog. And on our third move, it was by far like the biggest risk, the biggest opportunity, and the biggest blessing of our lives. And that was I gave birth to twin boys. And we came to parenthood much later than most. There were millions of reasons to not go down that path. But in the end, I think for both of us, what we kept thinking about or hoping for was 2 reasons to say yes. And ultimately, that's what happened. These two living, breathing, amazing people that are our twins that came into this world against like all of the odds, right? And so um, that would have never happened if we weren't willing and had this mindset as a family. We don't know what the outcome's going to be. We don't know how this is going to all happen. We don't know if it's all going to be good, right? But we were willing to take the risk. And so, yes. And so I think that's the biggest learning. Like, we just have to be open to it. Um, there is no script for us to follow. There is no clear path. It's up to down and twist and turn. But being willing to take the risk and say yes is important.
Thank you for taking the risk on me and taking the risk on Amplify. Um,
Absolutely, my pleasure.
I you're a blessing to all of us. And just to close our session together, hey, why should someone listening now join the Amoofy movement?
Yeah, because I think what's so beautiful about the MFI movement is it's grounded in what we know. It's grounded in the power of storytelling. It's grounded in the power of the individual voice and what it can bring. And it's married to the technology. But the foundation of it is in the people. And that's an important difference in today's world as AI companies are being built. You started with the stories you wanted to not lose in your own family and that's a very different place to start than I'm going to try to leverage the latest technology. And then you brought the two together. And so I think that's really why it's so powerful and why it's so everlasting.
Okay, thank you so much. And to everybody out there, thank you for listening to this moment of humanity. If you felt something, share it. If you heard the truth, follow it. And if you see someone, take a moment and ask for their story. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you, Luis.